Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited, as it's Wednesday, and that means tonight was AEW Dynamite. But you see right over here, there's a black box. Usually that means there might be somebody with me, and your prayers have been answered because look who it is. Luke has returned. Just like Riho returned tonight to AEW and had a match on AEW Dynamite with Ruby Soho, we've got Luke back. As people have been asking for the past week or so, where's Luke? When's Luke coming back? I even got asked last night while I was playing Fortnite on stream, did you fire Luke? Did Luke leave PWU Unlimited? Nope. Life just comes in the way of things, and other things are more important than talking wrestling. So Luke took some time away to deal with those things. Whether he wants to talk about any of it or not is up to him. But Luke, how have you been? The people have been clamoring for your return.
So yeah, I've been gone for a while. How long have I been gone? Like a week or it had to be like more than a week.
Last week and then this week ish. So you missed like 2 Raws.
Yeah. I've been gone for a while. A lot of it's been school and some other personal issues that's been going on in my life right now. But I do appreciate everyone's concern. Trust me, I've seen the comments and past few streams lately. In every review, asking me where I've been, but just a lot of stuff has been going on in my life recently, but I do appreciate everyone's concern, and I'm back, so let's talk some AEW.
So as far as Dynamite does go, now, unless I missed something, and there may have been like a spot I missed, like when the commercial goes off, I walk out of the room sometimes, and then like come back in and I go, oh, dang, they're already back, I might have missed something. So did they have any follow-up at all with Christian and Adam Copeland? Because I didn't see anything about Christian and Adam Copeland on this show at all.
I didn't see anything.
Yeah, you do the big angle where freaking Nick Wayne's mom hits him with the belt. We do the Montreal screw job, and then there's no follow-up? What kind of shoddy-ass, dumb, crappy-ass booking is that? You tried to book this big super angle with Christian Cage and Adam Copeland, and then the next week there's just no follow-up. Not even like a mention of it. Like if they would have mentioned it and be like, last week this happened at the end of the show and blah, 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 blah. Okay, that would have been one thing. They don't have no Copeland, no Cage, okay, whatever. But not even mention it. Where's the consistency in the booking? When people talk about how AEW doesn't have story, and then they tried to use that as long-term booking for the last 3 months, then you just don't follow up on it at all. I didn't see any on Collision. I didn't see any tonight. Like, what are we doing? Why are we supposed to be invested in this stuff if you're not even going to give us a reason to care because there's no follow-up? It's just like this Final Battle show this Friday, I think it is. Yeah, Friday for Ring of Honor. They've got their final battle pay-per-view, the final pay-per-view of the year, or whatever you want to call it. And for the most part, and this is coming from somebody that doesn't watch Ring of Honor, so I could be wrong here, other than the main event and Billy Starks and Athena, it all just feels like random. Well, and the match to crown the new TV champion, because I know they've been doing a tournament for that. Other than those 2 matches, everything else just feels random. To the point where I've been, as someone who doesn't watch Ring of Honor, I've been invested in the Billy Starks Athena stuff because they've done a good job, in my opinion, of pushing those clips and those things out on social media. Everything else, I'm watching Excalibur go over the card tonight, and I'm like, when did that get announced? Why are they doing that? What? Huh? Why is that happening? So much just random. Why are we supposed to care? And then it's on Honor Club. Who pays for Honor Club? Let me know in the chat or the comments below if you're watching later. Who pays for Honor Club? Because I know if I want to watch this show, which I at least want to watch the main event, I ain't going to pay for Honor Club. I'll go watch wrestling.in, wrestlinglive.in, one of those websites. So it's like, are you interested in the final battle pay-per-view on Friday during SmackDown?
Not really, no.
I will say, they've done a great job building up Athena and Billy Starks. This has been a storyline for a long time that actually started like a year ago in AEW. So they started this on AEW television because technically the first time we saw Billy Starks versus Athena was in the first Owen Classic when they were facing each other. And then there's like a year gap, and there's like the story of Billy Starks was taking on one of the Renegade twins, and then Athena came to her aid, and then Athena got attacked by the Renegades, and Billy came to her aid, and this and that, and they team. There's a great video that they put up on the Ring of Honor YouTube channel. It's called randomly, and maybe it's on the AEW YouTube channel. It's funny because this whole thing took place in ROH, but the video is titled AEW Timelines. Minion to Challenger or something like that. It's like, no, you can't call this AEW Timeline when none of this took place on AEW. And Tony Khan was asked yesterday on the conference media call about why is Athena not on AEW television. And you know what his response was? Did you hear what his response was?
What was his response?
Oh, well, she's featured on ROH prominently because if we put her on, basically he said, to draw eyes to Honor Club. And if we were to put her on AEW television, then people can just see her there and not have to pay for her. Basically saying, why would I put her on the free show on cable when I want you to watch her and pay me on Honor Club? You could tell he basically was like, oh yeah, I don't know. Let's just say she's a draw for ROH. No. When you've got all your other champions on AEW programming, AEW Dynamite, AEW Rampage, AEW Collision, but not Athena, the one who's probably the best of all of them. Yeah, that's a problem in my opinion.
Yeah, like, I mean, she was featured a little bit on like AEW television, but hardly, not as much as like the other champions, though.
Right, and she was featured more before she became the champion. Then they put the title on her. She had like a couple of AEW matches, like the one in the first Owen Classic, and then it's just like, oh, you're relegated to over there. Even though she's like the most entertaining, best thing they have in Ring of Honor, and better than more than half of the people we see on AEW television. I'll tell you right now, I'd rather see Athena on my TV than Ruby Soho falling in love with Angelo Parker. I'd rather see Athena doing anything. Because Ruby, I'll just say it, like tonight in the match with Rio, I get bored watching a Ruby match. So that was kind of the tale of this show too. A lot of it bored me. There were some good matches, I will say, but outside of like the tournament matches, which they are finally like ramping up the intensity of these matches and they're feeling different finally, everything else kind of bored me on this show. Like, really? Jericho's got to make an Enzo Amore joke? Like, come on, guy.
I totally forgot about Enzo Amore, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, he's like, last I saw, he did something like MLW. So, I don't even know.
I think he got fired from MLW, though.
Let me see. Enzo. No, it's Real One. Let's look at his cage match and see what he's been doing. Let's see. Real One, not Enzo.
I'm pretty sure MLW like let him go for like some reason.
Like, I'm just saying, like, last I saw he did something for MLW. That means that was a long time ago. Yeah, he hasn't. Let's see. His last match for MLW, he took on and lost to Jacob Fatu. No. Mance Warner. No, wait, there's more. Dumpster match. There's a 1, 2, 3, a 4-way dumpster match back in February where he lost. It was Matthew Justice beating Mance Warner, Microman, and Real One in an 8-minute and 24-second dumpster match. Like, how could that be entertaining? 8-minute dumpster match? Okay. But yeah. Other than that, he has worked for NEW. He fought Matt Hardy. He fought Philip Gordon. He worked for a bunch of other random places I've never heard of. He was in back in August, he worked New Japan in JPW All-Star Junior Festival 2023. I remember this match. Yep. It was Rich Swann, Taguchi, and DKC against Jack Hartwell, Real One, and Starboard Charlie. And then the last match he had was like 2 weeks ago. for ACW in Maryland. So, yeah. He hasn't been doing much. But, yeah, an Enzo Amore reference tonight from old Chris Jericho, where when you think about it, at one point in WWE, Enzo was one of the most popular wrestlers at least in the United States. He was almost like getting John Cena level cheers in WWE. There was that one small, when him and Cass came up to the main roster, they got a huge push and they got great fan reactions. So he then went off the deep end, and yeah.
Yeah, my dad loved Enzo Amore back in the day. And then
My kids loved Enzo and Cass. They thought they were so funny. Like,
oh yeah, like Enzo,
when my
like,
kid,
his mic work was amazing.
yes.
I mean, they were decent in the ring together.
Like when my
But
kids
yeah,
were
like
little,
Enzo-
like little, they would walk around and go, "How you doing? How you doing?" Because they saw Enzo do it. They thought they just thought he was a cartoon character, basically. Because the look, the way he talked, just the mannerisms that he would do. Like my son one time was like, "Hey, I could see that guy on a cartoon show." But yeah, they used to walk around. And then I can probably pull it out right now. I've got one of the "How You Doing" shirts. My son thought that was like the coolest thing. So
My dad has like one of those certified G shirts. My dad would
Nice.
literally just like walk around the house and like repeat like catchphrases of Enzo.
yeah, because I know when WWE briefly teamed up with Loot Crate and they had the AW or the WWE loot box or whatever, one of the months they sent a Enzo and Cass shirt. So, I mean, he's a real one. At first he was still Enzo, NZO, and now he's a real one, kind of doing stuff here and there, but yeah. With that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tier subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I'd greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember to head over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button. That way you know when we go live, when we post new videos. Hit that join button to become a channel member. And also remember to donate a super chat to make sure your comment, question, or concern gets highlighted and read live on the air. Finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game like Alan Wake 2, whether you're buying an old game like Hogwarts Legacy, which apparently is like the top selling game of 2023, whether you're claiming the free games, which right now is Destiny 2 Legacy Collection, well, you're getting into that new Fortnite. You're getting into that new Fortnite with Lego Survival Mode, Rocket Racing, Festival Mode, which is basically just Rock Band. Use this code right here, PW Unlimited at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Heck, Fall Guys has all their Christmas stuff out right now, all their Christmas skins. You may want to go buy those and put this code in PWU NLIMITED for all your Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. But with that, we've got AEW Dynamite to talk about, which immediately just felt rushed right off the jump. I'm watching Big Bang Theory. The credits are rolling, and then no intro, no nothing. It's just, we're in the building, and it's like, welcome to AEW Dynamite, folks. And Joe comes out. And Excalibur's just like, well, we're not wasting any time. Out comes the number one contender to the AEW World title, Mojo. And I'm just like, oh, wow. We're not even 30 seconds in, and this show already feels rushed. So this is Winter is Coming. The first Winter is Coming to not feature an AEW World title match. So they've already devalued the value of the World Winter is Coming name, because the first year they did it, which was 2020, it was Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega, with Kenny Omega winning the belt. The next year was Hangman and Bryan Danielson, with Hangman picking up the win, successfully defending the belt. And then last year was MJF and Ricky Starks, with MJF successfully defending the belt. No world title match tonight. It was just main event was a Continental Classic Gold League match, which was a really good match. Moxley and Swerve, but it broke the tradition of Winter is Coming, which we already knew they were going to when they didn't do the Eliminator tournament going into Full Gear. As far as Joe came out, opened up the show, and said he made a promise to keep MJF safe, to keep him whole, and not get him hurt any worse before World's End. Joe was made into a liar last week when he saw MJF laid out in the back, jeopardizing his AEW World title opportunity. Joe said that he saw a certain beer bottle of a certain brand that a certain cowboy likes to drink, smelling of desperation. So he searched for Hangman, and well, Hangman was nowhere to be found after Max was attacked. This then led to Hangman immediately coming down to the ring, as Excalibur brought up how maybe MJF is trying to frame Paige. And so, like, Excalibur basically told us, I think it's MJF who's the devil, and he faked being knocked out and put the beer bottle there to make us think it's Paige. So Paige said if Joe thinks it's him that's responsible, well, he's wrong, as he doesn't care about the bromance or the game of Clue or who done it. Joe said maybe he's already made up his mind, and he's about to be the extinguisher. Roderick Strong and the Kingdom then come down. We hear Samoa, and I'm like, shut the hell up. Roderick Strong and the Kingdom interrupt and said that Joe should listen to Paige, because they don't think it's Paige. They think it's MJF. Roddy thinks MJF is the devil. Strong called him a young boy. Strong then recaps the list of people who were laid out by the devil, and MJF was never actually seen being attacked by the devil or his henchmen, even though everybody else has been. Strong pleaded with Joe that MJF is the devil, shoved Paige, and decked Strong. Paige and Joe had a little stare down, allowing Strong to attack from behind as Aubrey Edwards jumped in the ring and cleared everybody out for the opening match. So what do you think of this opening segment that just felt, to me, really jumbled up and just random? Like, not random in a sense, but it felt like they tried to throw too many things at us at one time really quickly. Like, they're like, we got to do this thing, but we're rushed for time, so just get it.
I mean, it felt a little random, but at the same time, they tried to make it seem important though, but I think to me it just felt a little random and kind of dumb. They're making Roderick Strong look very dumb lately. I don't know why.
At least he's ditched, and I think Excalibur said it on commentary. Maybe it was Taz. At least he's ditched that dumb wheelchair.
Oh yeah, that wheelchair made no sense whatsoever.
The neck brace doesn't even make sense anymore. He takes it off to wrestle.
Right?
But the two did have a fun match to open the show, though. Well, opening contest. Excalibur did make reference that the two have fought before over like a dozen times in both singles and tag team matches back in the day in Ring of Honor. So that's interesting. I didn't know that. Let me see. I'm gonna look it up real fast. Adam Page versus Roderick Strong. Because I didn't even really learn who Adam Page was until after Roddy was already like in AEW. I mean WWE. Let me see. You go Adam Page, you go matches, you go Roderick Strong. See, how many matches have they worked in? 12 matches total, counting tonight. The last match they had before tonight was May 8th, 2016. It was ROH New Japan Global Wars. It was a number one contenders four-corner survival match where Dalton Castle defeated ACH, that's a name we haven't heard of in a long time, Adam Page and Roderick Strong for a shot at the television title. The first time they ever fought was in PWX, September 24th, 2011. So they had 11 matches prior that are on record. But none since, again, like I said, 2016. It's their first match since 2016. Page fought off an attack early on and connected with a follow-away slam into a kip-up, leading to a standing shooting star press that got a 2 that made Matt Taven almost jump out of his shoes because he thought that was it. Like, he jumped, like, he's on the side of the ring, and he's like watching 1, 2, oh, right when Roddy kicks out. Matt Taven, like I said, was jumping around. Fans are chanting next Strong. And Strong fought his way back into the thick of things with some chops and a boot. Strong tried to keep Page grounded, but Page responded with a big boot and a slap suplex. Page connected on a springboard clothesline to send Strong to the outside, where he was met with a slingshot crossbody. Page wanted his moonsault, but Mike Bennett took the referee to allow Matt Taven to distract Page enough for Strong to take control with a violent backbreaker onto the top turnbuckle. Strong was in charge the entire break until Page mounted a comeback by winning a strike exchange until both went for something and then they collided with forearms and there was a double down spot. Page started firing off strikes in the corner until Aubrey Edwards pulled him away. Strong then tried a jumping knee, but leapt right into a Death Valley driver by Page for a 2. Page wanted a superplex at one point and even bit at Strong's head as Strong slid out of it. Page tried a moonsault and landed on his feet. Strong dodged the charge and ran into a pop-up powerbomb for another 2. Strong then kicked free from a Deadeye attempt, pancaked Page before connecting with an angle slam into a Tiger driver into the stronghold. Page got the ropes and broke free. He then fought onto the apron, and once again, Mike Bennett took the referee, but this time Page was ready for Taven, who he took out with a moonsault. Bennett then joined his partner, and Page hit a top rope moonsault onto both of them on the outside. Page tried a buckshot lariat, but Strong was there and able to counter it, only for Page to roll up Strong and get a 2. Strong then kind of stumbled to his feet. Page dropped him with a Deadeye and pinned him to pick up the victory. So we got a good, lengthy match here. I thought the match went way longer than I expected, but not long in a bad way. I liked the match and thought these two worked really well together. Could have done without the second bit of interference. Like, I get it. The Kingdom were there. Do the one interference. We don't need the second one. But what did you think of the match?
I will say it was a decent opener. And it was like, I thought it was going to be like a little short. I wouldn't say like too short, but it was like long in a good way. And they definitely made both guys seem like strong.
And maybe that's why that opening segment with Joe felt rushed, because they wanted to get that in and out so they had an ample time for this match to open the show. So then we go straight into another match. It's a Blue League match in the Continental Classic, and holy crap, did Andrade and Brody King beat the crap out of each other. These two beat the dog piss out of one another. Hard hitting. This is what the Continental Classic needs to be every single match. And we got that also with Swerve and Moxley. Like, if you watch the G1, not every, but most G1 matches are guys just beating the crap out of each other. Now, the other thing about the G1 is most of the time guys are working 2, 3, 4 matches a week in the G1 for multiple weeks. In AEW, sometimes you have guys working twice a week. Most of the time, guys get one match a week. And so it's like, They keep trying to tell us that they're beat up from this tournament. But guys like Swerve aren't working any more. Like, the number of matches Swerve has been working since the tournament started has not increased from what he was working before the tournament. So to tell me he's super banged up because of all these tournament matches doesn't really do it for me when he's still only working one match a week anyways. He was working one match a week before this. So I really wish that they had guys working 2 matches a week at least, or 3 matches a week. Put more matches in the tournament on Rampage, and so you've got guys working multiple times in a week. Then you can really tell the story of, yeah, they got these matches that they're doing with little recovery time between them. Like, sometimes they'll get recovery time, like if they go from like a Rampage to a Dynamite the next week. But if they're doing like Dynamite to Rampage or Dynamite to Collision or Collision to Dynamite, that's only like 2-3 days. So that's just my spick. I wish that they were working more matches with the tournament. So as far as this match does go, it was Andrade El Idolo and Brody King in a Blue League match. As Caliber pointed out, that despite Andrade putting on size recently, he's still not as big as Brody King. Andrade, continuously tried to work a headlock early on, but King rose to his feet and flattened Andrade with a shoulder tackle and a senton. There was a loud chop battle that started up until Andrade floated over in the corner. Nearly. It got caught in a sleeper, though. He escaped and hit a top rope crossbody for a 1. King rolled to the floor where Andrade met him with a moonsault off the second rope. Back in the ring, they briefly went at each other as Andrade was placed on the ropes and chopped violently as he fell to the floor, putting King in control as we went to a picture-in-picture break. Then the TBS app didn't show me anything, so I don't know what happened during the break. Well, actually, I do because they showed it afterwards in a replay. Brody King was up against the barricade on the outside, and Andrade did a crossbody to him. No. King did the crossbody. I saw it in a replay, so I didn't catch it really. One of them did. I think it was, hold on. Let me see. Where are my notes? What did I write? King charged at Andrade and hit a crossbody against the barricade. Yeah, I didn't see like I said, sometimes the TNT app will show the picture-in-picture. Sometimes it doesn't. It's weird. Andrade tried to start a strike exchange, but King easily won that until a corner charge missed, and King ran headfirst into the buckle. Andrade then blocked a boot and hit multiple dragon screws, finally taking King down with a flying forearm. Andrade finally hit a body slam, went up to the top, and connected with a perfect split-legged moonsault for a 2. King dodged the running double knees and turned Andrade inside out with a lariat for a close fall of his own. King then connected with his own corner cannonball, but Andrade escaped right at the last second as he dodged a gonzo bomb, and both men started throwing heavy strikes. King went for another lariat, but Andrade met him with a spinning back elbow. Andrade took too long to get up, and King cut him off, but couldn't manage to really get a superplex, and instead, Andrade fell back and drove King headfirst onto an exposed part of the buckle and followed this up with the El Idolo DDT to pick up the victory. So there we go. Andrade wins. He now has 9 points. Brody King, 6 points. What did you think of the match?
Oh, the match was really fun. I enjoyed it. They've really been making Brody King look very strong in this tournament. Yes. Like, when I first saw his name in this tournament, I thought they were just going to use him as just like an extra guy in this tournament so you can have like the bigger names just like beat him. Mm-hmm. But they've really been making this guy look strong, and I like it.
So Renee Paquette's backstage with Kevin Ross and Marshall Von Erich. Now I will tell you, they tried to make it seem like they're still a big deal in Dallas. I have friends that grew up in Dallas, still live in Dallas, been living in Dallas since they were born in the 90s. Couldn't tell you at all who the Von Erichs are. The Von Erichs are not a big deal in Dallas anymore. They tried to promote them as such. Danhausen, Trent Beretta, and Orange Cassidy with an interrupt as they were talking about how much they loved being in AEW tonight. Cassidy then goes, "Hey, do I got a match this Friday on Rampage? Wasn't Ross and Marshall team with me?" They accepted. And then, like, Danhausen and Trent were like, whoa, I thought we were going to team with you. And Orange is like, yeah, it's all good. I'm like, okay. We don't know who they're facing, though. They may have said it. Wait, I think they said it later. Hold on. Let me see. Let me check. Nope. No, wait, Rampage. They're taking on... Nope. They never said who their opponents are going to be. Just that they're in 6-man tag action. So we'll know shortly. Probably by now they've taped it. Yeah, they should have. It's an hour show. I could probably go on Twitter and find out. But yeah, very random. They're just putting the Von Erich boys. They're not even... Unless you watched MLW like a year ago, you wouldn't even know who Ross and Marshall Von Erich are. Because I bet you... I'm going to throw a number out. 90% of the AEW audience probably had no clue who Ross and Marshall Von Erich are. So, what do you think of them trying to... And here's my question to you. Here's my question. Do you think this is, Tony Khan has seen them and wants to actually use them? Or is this Tony Khan trying to piggyback off of the Iron Claw movie coming out and using the name? I think it's the second one.
I think it's the second one too. And if I'm being completely honest, I didn't even know who the Von Erichs were until I saw Young Rock.
Wow.
Because they featured one of the Von Erichs in that show.
I believe it's Kerry Von
I'm
Erich.
pretty sure. Yeah. Well, to be fair, I didn't grow up in the 80s or 90s, so
See, I'm gonna look it up.
so I didn't really know much about him.
Santino Penzorella played Kerry Von Erich on Young Rock. It was one episode. So yeah. Like the Von Erichs are a legendary family. Big time names and stuff. But it's like, unless you grew up in the 80s or saw, some of Kerry's run as Texas Tornado in WWF, you wouldn't know who they are. And like I said, from what I was always told, in the mid to late 80s, the Von Erichs, everybody in Dallas knew who they were. They were superstars. They were megastars. If you lived in Dallas, you knew who they were. Well, I got friends that were born in 92 to 95, still live in Dallas to this day, and couldn't tell you who the Von Erichs are. So, I don't know if, again, like I said, if they're just trying to piggyback off the movie coming out, which I've heard great things about. I will be seeing it next Thursday. But the movie apparently is really good. So Warner Brothers Discovery signed a deal with A24 to where all A24 movies are going to go to Max. And I think they've won't know. They might do it later once the movie actually does go to Max. Because I think they should use AEW to promote the fact that the Iron Claw movie will be streaming on Max eventually. Maybe they should have waited for the Von Erichs and used them then, but I get why they would want to use them in Dallas. But using them in Dallas, I don't think, to be honest, has any relevance in 2023. Whether you would have used them in Dallas, you would have used them in Pittsburgh, you would have used them in LA, you would have used them in Montreal. I don't think it matters at all that they're in Dallas. I just think that using the Von Erichs would have been a good way to help promote that, hey, their movie comes out in theaters next week, and then after their theatrical run, it'll be on Max, which, well, is owned by Warner Brothers Discovery that owns TBS that you're watching right now. I don't know. It's just, yeah. It was also weird because it's like Danhausen and Trent were like, I thought we were going to team with you. And he's like, it's okay. So Danhausen literally looks, he's looking at the Von Erichs. And when Orange says, he looks over and goes, hey. So, cool. Should be okay. Probably going to be a
Honestly,
squash.
I didn't realize it.
Huh?
I didn't even realize it was actually the Von Erichs until they played that commercial right after that segment.
Yep. Kevin Von Erich and his boys, Ross and Marshall. See if I can find.
I'm sure that's how a lot of people felt.
Yeah, like I said, unless you watched MLW, you probably don't even know who they are. I'm trying to see if there's any spoilers out yet for. See who they faced. Yeah, I'm not seeing. Wait. Is this it? This is it, but I can't tell who those guys are in the ring. Yeah, I have the full-on spoilers I don't think are out yet. I mean, there might be, but I just don't see them. Let me see. Let me look one more place. Let me see if F4W Online has the spoilers up yet. Yeah, I don't see who they're going to face. They're working tonight, technically in Arlington, which is an hour out of Dallas. Let me move on. And it's the Golden Jets. Kenny Omega, Chris Jericho. Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho are met with their first ever Golden Jets chant from the crowd. Jericho wearing an arm brace. So I'm like, oh no, what happened to Jericho? He talks about how Ricky and Big Bill attacked him after the press conference at Full Gear. So is he still selling that? I guess, yeah, because they took the production box and smashed his arm against the wall. So I guess it's that. Starks and Bill walk out. Stark said that he doesn't have a problem with Omega thanking him for AEW, while Jericho sucks the life out of everything. Starks brings up the Inner Circle and the JAS and asked Omega if he could truly trust Chris Jericho. Bill said if Jericho attacked Omega Jericho could attack Omega at any moment, and no one would be surprised by it. Omega said that Jericho knows he doesn't trust him and brings up the Firm and said that angle with MJF was more like the Flaccid or more up Bill's alley of soft. Omega said that the future tag team title match is going to happen, and it's going to happen at World's End, and called them the Winnipeg Jets for correcting himself with the Golden Jets. Starks then accepted the challenge and brings up this past January beating Jericho. As Bill mentioned, that Starks beat him twice, again at a pay-per-view. Starks said that they don't need a team name, but Jericho said he has a few names, the absolute a-holes, the Rick and Dick, or Big Billy Starks, which fell completely flat, and the crowd didn't chant, cheer, boo, or nothing for any of that. As Calsburg wisely points out, Billy Starks is an actual wrestler who is challenging Athena this Friday in the main event of Ring of Honor Final Battle for the Ring of Honor World Women's Championship. So I'm like, cool. You got that reference in. Starks then brings up Jericho, shopping in Hot Topic, with Jericho saying Starks is the less charismatic version of Enzo Amore. Omega said, at least Enzo would hype up Big Bill, not take the whole spotlight. That said, that line was stiff. Starks then said that he's sick and tired of all this, and they're the best tag team in the world, and for the Winnipeg Scumbags to bring it at World's End. Omega said that they should bid their titles adieu, and did his go-home line that, again, the crowd didn't respond to. So it's like, do they not know the goodbye and good night? But yeah, this segment was just there. They tried to be cute and funny with some of the lines, and the crowd just either didn't care or get the references. Yeah, the crowd was kind of dead for most of this segment.
Yeah, they really did try to like be creative with like Enzo Amore references, but yeah, the crowd just did not care for this at all.
Mm-mm. So I'm seeing Mad G in the Twitch chat. He says, quote, Von Erichs are a big part of the business. Yeah. Back in like 1987, 1984, 1985. Not in 2023. Like I said. Like Luke even said. He didn't even know who the Von Erichs were until he saw Kerry Von Erich on Young Rock. So in 2023, to say that the Von Erichs are a big part of the business, yes, the history of the business, but not the current business. So that's just the thing. Like, still have to pay respect to what they did. I'm not saying that what they did was bad. I'm not disrespecting them at all. I'm just saying that since like the mid 90s, they've been non-existent in wrestling, basically. Like, tell me the last time you watched a Von Erich match and when that match was from. Was it from anything newer than 1993 or 1994? Fans that started in the Attitude Era, or fans that started in the Ruthless Aggression Era, or fans that started in the indie boom of 2016 and beyond, probably don't know who the Von Erichs are unless they're like me and have gone back and done the research, watched all the old stuff, and just wanted to learn as much as possible. Like I said before, I started watching wrestling in 1998 full time. Like I had seen it before a couple times because my grandpa watched it religiously. And so whenever we'd go visit my grandparents, it'd be on. But I didn't become a fan until 1998. I was like 8, 9 years old. And ever since then, I've gone back and watched a bunch of stuff. But, yeah. Matt says, WWE Texas Tornado. Okay. When was the last Texas Tornado match? Like 93? Tell you right now. When was Kerry's last match as Texas Tornado? I'm going to look it up right now. His last match as Texas Tornado was 1992. He lost to Kamala. So, yeah. He says, and some matches in MLW during the pandemic. I said that. Unless you watched MLW over the last couple of years, you wouldn't even know who Ross and Marshall are. So, try again, guy. I've said all the stuff you're trying to contradict me on. Von Erichs haven't been a thing since 1993.
Yeah, the only way that current day fans are going to find out about the Von Erichs is they actually have to go back and do the research.
Yep. Or watch the movie that comes out next week. Because again, I heard it's great. John Cena praised Zac Efron's performance as Kevin Von Erich. But yeah.
Like ever since I've been watching WWE, I don't think that WWE's really made any references of the Von Erichs.
Well, they put him in the Hall of Fame not too long ago. They put him in the Hall of Fame. Hold on, I'll tell you right now.
That had to be a long time ago, though.
No, not really. I'll tell you right now. Hold on. It was 2009. They put the entire Von Erich family in the Hall of Fame. 2009.
Oh, I didn't really start watching wrestling till 2012 then.
Yeah, see.
I mean, I wasn't going to remember that Hall of Fame class. The only person I remember in that Hall of Fame class was Stone Cold, I believe.
Yep. Stone Cold, Ricky Starks, Bill Watts, Howard Finkel, Coco Beware, the Funks, Terry and Dory, and the Von Erichs. That year didn't even have a woman go in the Hall of Fame.
Wait, Ricky Starks.
Did I say Ricky Starks? Maybe I meant Ricky Steamboat?
Yeah, you said Ricky Starks.
Oh, I meant Ricky Steamboat. The Dragon. But, yeah, so, they haven't been a thing for a very long time. They put Kevin Von Erich a few years ago with his family. I just said that, Mad. 2009. Are you not listening? No offense. Come on, guy. Try to correct me on things I just said. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. That was almost 15 years ago they put him in the Hall of Fame. Back to AEW. Timeless Tony Storm makes her way down to the ring with Mariah May. Also, change up tonight. They had the commentary table at ringside instead of up on the top of the ramp. That was different for Dynamite. So Tony Storm joins commentary. Storm asked if the gentleman would prefer she does color or play-by-play. Taz prefers she do play-by-play. As Storm said, he truly is a Tasmaniac. She also said, they asked where Luther was. She said he is not here tonight because he has a case of the gout. So I guess it's contagious? Is gout contagious? Is gout...
No, I don't think so, no.
Is gout contagious? No, it is not. So, okay. How did he get gout after she just had gout? Preposterous. Anyways, Riho Ruby Soho. This is okay. It was just there. It did nothing for me.
I didn't even get the gout anyway. Is it from poor diet?
No, I think so. I remember Bobby Hill got gout one time on King of the Hill, and he had to use a rascal scooter. How do you get gout? Eating a rich diet in red meat and shellfish, and drinking beverages sweetened sugar and fructose gives you gout. Yeah, bad diet. Eating too much red meat and shellfish. I can't remember, because the first time I remember ever hearing the word gout was on King of the Hill back in the day. Bobby got gout, couldn't take Connie to the school dance. So then Joseph takes Connie to the dance. Bobby gets jealous. He shows up on his little rascal scooter, and then all hell breaks loose. Yeah. Love me some King of the Hill. It's like my second favorite show ever. They're bringing it back on Hulu, too.
I need to remember what King of the Hill was.
King of the Hill was a family and friends in Arlen, Texas, which is technically supposed to be right outside. It was supposed to be near Dallas, but it was supposed to be kind of like Dallas, but it's not Dallas.
I remember Hank Hill.
It's Hank Hill, his wife Peggy, their son Bobby, their niece Luann lived with them for a while, and then Hank had his three best friends, Bill, Boomhauer, and Dale, and all the shenanigans. King of the Hill is freaking amazing. Mike Judge, I can't wait for him to bring it back.
Was that the show where every intro they had their couch like in front of their house?
Yeah, they were putting the couch into the back of the truck. In the intro.
That was like their intro.
Yeah, well, so in the intro, it's a lot of like everything's sped up and things are happening. And there is a part where the couch is sitting out front and they put the couch in the back of a truck. They drive off and then like they throw something in, they throw a bag into the trash can. It says like created by Mike Judge. And then it cuts and it's got Bobby, Peggy, and Hank standing there for like a family photo kind of thing in front of the picket fence. Trust me, 13 seasons of gold. Gold. And you can watch it all on Hulu. I go back and watch it all the time. I love King of the Hill. So Ruby Soho attacks right at the bell, but Riho bridged out of a pin and hit a quick drop kick. There's a running corner knee and a bridging suplex that got Riho a 2 as she followed up with a wheelbarrow into a double stomp. Soho then tried to come back with a superplex in the corner, but got caught in the ropes, and Riho hit a violent double stomp as she waved at Storm before things went to commercial. Soho then gained the advantage during and after the commercial, but Riho quickly turned the tide with a head scissor into the ropes, followed by a tiger feint kick. There's a high crossbody off the top for a 2, as both ladies had a series of pin attempts here, with Soho up first, and she hit a Saito suplex. Storm randomly calls for her close-up and gets a zoom-in before Riho hit a crucifix bomb for a 2. Riho then missed a top rope stomp as Soho met her with a no future for a near fall. Riho then avoided a destination unknown and countered a guillotine into a Northern Lights suplex, followed by a dragon suplex and a charging double knee for the victory. There we go. Riho defeats Ruby. Didn't see that one coming. I thought Ruby would get the win for sure. Especially when they played it up. Go for it.
I kind of expected Riho to get the win because they're really teasing a Riho versus Tony.
Yeah, true. You're not wrong. But they did play up early on. They're like, if Ruby wins this match, she's beating a former Ring of Honor or AEW World Women's Champion, and that could put her in line for a shot at you, Tony. Tony just kind of played it off. So, yeah, we'll see. Moving forward, we got a video package of the destruction that Wardlow has left since his return. Just like the Archangel Michael, he will be the one to bring the devil to his knees. MJF world is coming to an end. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they want to use Wardlow, but they don't have a plan for Wardlow, so they're just like, let's do random shit with him until we can figure something out. I'm not interested.
I feel like they're trying to like hype him up, then have him face MJF after he's done with Samoa Joe.
Yeah, but they're not doing a good job about it because, yeah, I get it. Hype him up, make him look like a murderer. But really, I'm bored with it already.
Yeah, I am too.
Which is a lot of AEW. They start something
like
and then it drags and then you get bored of it and then it just goes nowhere.
Like have him be in the ring and beat people up, don't just do vignettes of him trying to be scary. Like anyone could do that, really. So
like the first 4 weeks he was back, they would do the whole, he'd get in the ring, powerbomb, 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 the ref would just stop the match. They did that for like 3-4 weeks straight. And now he's just random, like backstage, was it last week or the week before? He had a big old metal crossbar and was just going, what do you want to talk about, Renee? Are you going to interview me? Yeah, throw this out of the way. Like, Really, he's just like, why are we supposed to care about him when you're portraying him as just a meathead? That's really what it is. He's coming off as a meathead with some sort of a vendetta. And why does he want to ruin MJF's life anyways? The last time him and MJF fought, he won. They haven't even told us that. They haven't even brought up the fact that when they had that pay-per-view match at Double or Nothing, he won. So, beats me. I don't care. We had Gold League action in the Continental Classic. It was Roosh against Jay Lethal. Man, is Jay Lethal just a guy to get beat. 0 points. and eliminated from contention of anything. So early on, Lethal was able to survive an onslaught of chops from Roosh to get the takedown. So he could do the Fargo strut. That was enough time for Roosh to recover, bounce back, and hit a German suplex. And then a knee on the floor. They said if Roosh loses, he's eliminated from the tournament. So Roosh needs to pick up the victory, which he did. Roosh was relentless with some strikes in the corner. He did the LFI pose until Lethal caught him with a lethal combination. Roosh did a misdirect spot, but Lethal blocked a discus elbow into an enziguri. Lethal wasted no time trying to go and, so he tried to attack at Roosh. Roosh sidesteps him, and then there's a pause for a second. Lethal wasted a little time here, and then he was launched into the corner by an overhead belly-to-belly suplex. Lethal then blocked the bull's horns. Roosh sidestepped Lethal injection and sank in a rear naked choke for the quick submission victory. Cool. Sanjay Dutt, Jeff Jarrett, Karen Jarrett, they all came out on the stage to console Jay Lethal, who sort of shrugged them off, leave me alone or something. I don't know. This was a little weird by Jay Lethal. I feel like after the tournament, they have a great story here with Jay Lethal of, okay, now I want a redemption. I want to show that, yes, I failed in the tournament badly, but now I want to go and show you why I'm the former TV champion in Ring of Honor, why I'm the former Ring of Honor world champion, why I'm one of the greatest to ever come out of Ring of Honor. I think they really have a great story that they can tell there with Jay Lethal coming out of this tournament of redemption and building his name back up. Not just, I'm the loser that lost all my tournament matches. What'd you think of the match?
I mean, match was okay. Really sucks for Jay Lethal, honestly. Hopefully Jay Lethal does get a win here. At least a win in this tournament, because they're just using him as a guy just to get beat. Not just in this tournament, but a lot ever since he debuted in AEW.
I'm trying to see who he still has left to face. Let me see. Here we go. So Jay Lethal still has Mark Briscoe. I can see him beating Mark Briscoe.
Yeah.
But Briscoe hasn't won a match yet either. So it's going to be the battle of two losers. No disrespect.
It's a lose-lose situation, honestly.
It's a match that doesn't matter. So, yeah. I don't know. Who would you put over then? Especially since it doesn't matter at all in the points.
I feel like it'd have to be Mark Briscoe because he has a match going into Final Battle, and they probably want to make him look
nope.
At least somewhat strong.
This would be after Final Battle. Final Battle's this week. Final Battle's this week.
Jeez,
like I said, it doesn't matter.
Coin flip, then.
Right? So,
because none of them are going to win the tournament.
No,
so.
It's in the Gold League. So hold on. Let me see. What do we still have? Moxley's the only one with 12 points. Moxley's got 12. Strickland's got 9. Jay's got 9. So Moxley's automatically going to make the finals for the Gold League. Because the top two in each league make the finals on December 27th in 2 weeks. Moxley still has to face Jay White. If Moxley beats Jay White, Swerve makes the finals. We get another Moxley Swerve match. Here's how it goes. If Moxley beats Jay, done. But if Roosh beats Swerve, then they're still tied. And then Roosh would also be tied with them at 9 points. So if Roosh wins again, he gets 9 points. There's a lot of ways this can go. And I know this probably is getting a little confusing. So if Swerve and Jay both lose next week, that then puts Roosh tied with Swerve and Jay. Then you go to a tiebreaker. Roosh beats Swerve. Swerve's eliminated. Roosh also... So Roosh lost to... Okay, so if Swerve loses to Roosh and Jay White loses to Moxley, Jay White makes the finals. If Jay White beats Moxley, then it's Jay White and Moxley in the finals. If Swerve beats Roosh and Jay White loses to Moxley, it's Swerve and Moxley in the finals. But if Swerve and Jay White win next week, then it would be Swerve in the finals because he beat Jay White. That's how the Gold League goes. So there's ways for Swerve, Jay White, and Roosh all still to make it to the finals to face Jon Moxley. Moxley's locked in. Moxley is locked into the finals. But there is still a way that Roosh at 6 points, Jay White at 9, and Swerve at 9 can make. As far as the Blue League goes, there's still two weeks of action left there, so it's harder to tell who's still in contention. Because even Claudio at 3 points and Eddie Kingston at 3 points are still technically in it. But we'll know after Collision how that's going to go. But Gold League, you could predict there's 3 different scenarios to get 4 different scenarios to get 3 different guys to face Mox again. And Mox hasn't lost to anybody. I
kind of thought you'd put Kingston in the finals since he's like the Ring of Honor champion.
You would think. Also, they really made Eddie Kingston look like a dumb idiot for putting both titles on the line and it being his idea. Man, does he look dumb.
Like if they're gonna have him do that, at least put him in the finals so where he looks strong.
Mm-hmm. There's a good chance that the finals at World's End is Jon Moxley and Bryan Danielson. There's a good chance of that. That it's
Most
BCC
likely.
versus BCC. I would want, if it was me booking it, I would just Swerve and Danielson in the finals. So that's just me though.
Yeah, but they really, I know AEW, they like to do box in the finals for a lot of stuff. But
I don't know, because if you really want to push Swerve as a big baby face, like maybe not even a big baby face, but if you want to push Swerve as a big star, I'm still in the belief. My prediction is Swerve wins the whole dang thing.
I want Swerve to win the whole thing, but
Well, I take that back. I want Swerve in the finals, but now that I think about it, I don't want Swerve to win. Because if Swerve wins, then he gets these titles that mean nothing. But I want Swerve to make the finals, look strong, and then build up to a shot at the either international title, or maybe he takes on MJF for the world title at here we go. MJF versus Swerve Strickland for the AEW world title at Revolution. And Swerve wins the belt.
Swerve said in multiple interviews, my goal in AEW is to be world champion.
Yeah. So why waste his time with 3 titles, the Triple Crown that mean nothing? That's my opinion. Because I could care less about this Triple Crown, the modern day North American Triple Crown Championship. I could care less. It's a 5th. I talked about this last week. It's a 5th ranked belt in AEW and a 4th ranked belt in New Japan. And then if we're talking about a new title being created, the Continental Championship, then that's a 8th ranked belt in AEW right now, behind all the Ring of Honor titles as well, because it's not established yet. It's like, why should we care what the winner gets in this tournament? I honestly still think that the winner of the tournament should then go on to get a title shot. I honestly think this should be a summer tournament going into All In. Maybe do it in April or May. Then you have 2-3 months to build up that challenger against the champion going to All In. Then your All In main event is set. Your All In main event seems important because these guys had to win a big tournament to get the title shot. It's just like in WWE. You win the Rumble, you get the WrestleMania main event. It's just like in New Japan. You win the G1, you get the main event at Wrestle Kingdom.
I mean, I like the idea of the tournament, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But I just wish they would use it properly.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's been used improperly. It's just, why are we supposed to care about the what's the word I'm looking for? prize at the end of the road.
Yeah, the prize. Yeah.
Why are we supposed to care about the prize? I don't.
I wish they would use it. If you win the tournament, you get to main event all in.
Yeah. Or even if they want it to be a winter thing, then the winner moves on to the main event of Revolution. It's just like the Owen. You're fighting for something that no one's going to care about in 2 weeks or even a week. So
did the Owen Hart
go for it?
Did the Owen Hart Cup really benefit Ricky Starks and Willow Nightingale last year?
Willow
it didn't.
Well, so once after the tournament, Ricky got a big push, but you could have still done that same push with Ricky if he didn't win it. Willow, she's just another woman on the roster. Did winning the Owen help either Adam Cole or Britt Baker? No, it didn't. And I don't think winning the Continental Classic, at least right now, is going to help whoever wins it. Well, that's Swerve, Mox, Danielson, whoever.
Well, for Ricky, I think for storyline purposes, he was actually supposed to face CM Punk at All Out, but then Punk got fired.
Well, yeah, that was always the story, the plan.
He did that roll up pin up on Punk in that Owen Hart final. And then,
but what I'm saying is, Ricky still could have done that same storyline and got that same push without having to win the Owen. The Owen didn't help him get that push in storyline. It was just Collision started. He racked up some wins. He felt like a big shot, and there we go. I don't think winning the Owen made that any different, made any impact or significance.
I feel like it's just Tony Khan's way of trying to take a jab at WWE, if I'm being completely honest.
With how so?
Them getting to use the Owen Hart name, and they don't.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but I bet you there's a good chance Tony feels good that he gets to use it and they don't. But I don't know if I would say it's a complete jab. But I wouldn't doubt that Tony feels good that, we get to use Owen's name. We get to sell Owen Hart T-shirts and they don't. We get to put Owen in our video game. Also, speaking of their video game, they announced a new mode. And so I'm like, oh, crap, a new mode. It's like Tekken. It's like Mortal Kombat. And then I go to download it and it goes, $6.99. I said, fuck you, and turned off my PlayStation. I'm not putting any more money in this shitty-ass game. If it was a free mode, I'd jump on and stream it right now. Try it out. Basically, it's like playing Mortal Kombat. You pick a wrestler, and you got to work up the ranks. You got to fight 10 people, and then at the end, you face a member of the elite. That sounds fun. But then when they say, oh, you either got to buy the second season pass or get this mode for $6.99, I said, whoop, turn my PlayStation off. I ain't paying no more money for this damn game that sucks.
Have you tried their Stadium Stampede?
Oh, that mode is broke. That mode sucks. I tried it the day it came out. It not fun. Nope.
I know some people were playing it and they said they liked it, and it felt like what was that? What was that Fortnite version of wrestling? Was it Wrestleverse?
Oh yeah, Wrestleverse.
A lot of people were comparing it to Wrestleverse.
I think it's called Wrestleverse. I played a bunch of that. I don't think it was called Wrestleverse. What was it called? Oh crap! Hold on.
Well, it's like
Rumbleverse. Rumbleverse.
Rumbleverse. That's right.
That was a fun game that didn't last 6 months.
Yeah, a lot of people were comparing it to Rumbleverse.
I can see it a little, but yeah, the thing that hurt that game is so when I played maybe 5 or 6 matches, and there were issues where when somebody would have bad internet, because you're playing against other people online. When someone would have bad internet, then they'd glitch in and out, and then you try to do moves to them, and then they glitch out, and then they come back, and all of a sudden it's like they disappear and then pop back, and all of a sudden they're doing moves to you. Their online stuff on that was not good. Half the time you'll grab a weapon, and then the weapon doesn't even do anything. So, yeah, I had issues with it on the PlayStation. I don't know if it's different on Switch. I don't know if it's different on Xbox or PC, but I had issues with it. I think Nick told me he tried it and had issues on PC, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. But yeah. King of Mundo. So the mode is getting a lot of positive talk about it. Well, that's good to hear, but I'm not paying for it. I'm not paying for it on a game that I got bored of after less than a week. That I played with my kids, and my son literally said, yeah, I'm never touching this game again. That's how much he didn't like it. Like he played 2 matches and goes, this is fun. Then we played another match and he goes, this is it? It's the same thing. They play more. He's just like, I'll go play 2K. I'll play WWE 2K. Because he got bored. He said all the wrestlers, like my son played it more than I did. And his basic review was, everything feels the same. All the wrestlers feel the same. Nobody feels different and special like in the WWE games where you can tell different wrestlers have different movesets and different wrestlers wrestle differently than other wrestlers in the game. And I get it. It's their first game. But yeah, no. I'm not putting any more money into this game. And I'll just say, all full transparency, THQ gave me the game for free. So I'm not putting any money into this game at all. Moving forward.
Yeah,
go for it.
I know when the game first came out, a lot of people were streaming it the first week. Then after that 1 week, people went back to 2K.
Yep.
That just shows you how broken that game is.
I mean, I streamed it once and was like, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, people streamed it for a week because they had to. Then after that, they were like,
well, not even had to.
2K.
No one had to stream it.
Well, at least the people who got it for free, though.
No, we didn't have to do anything. We got it for review. We were able to do whatever we wanted with it, but no one said, you have to do this, you have to do that. It's just, here's the game for review. Do whatever you're going to do review-wise. Also, right now on Twitch.
Yeah.
Go for it. What were you going to say? Go for it.
I'm pretty sure I was talking about the people who were invited down to play the game for their same thing that WWE does with 2K every year.
Well, yeah, but again, they played it at the event, granted. But like I said, for review, we do whatever we want. We're not told you have to do this, you have to do that. It's here's a copy of the game. Enjoy it, don't enjoy it, give your thoughts on it, and go from there. Just like with WWE every year. They give us the game. They say, here it is for review. Go for it. Also, right now on Twitch, there are only 3 people streaming AEW Fight Forever. 1 guy has 2 viewers. The other 2 have 1 viewer. That's it. Nobody is playing this game online. Maybe a bunch of people are playing at home that don't stream, but nobody is streaming this game. Let's check Kick really fast. Is anyone streaming it on Kick? It just shows you that this game really fell off big time. Fight Forever. Nobody is streaming it on Kick. So yeah, nobody's playing this game. And they want us to pay $6.99 for the new mode. I mean, they gave us a Stadium Stampede mode for free. But then this new mode, which seems like it could be fun, where pick a wrestler, you go through, you have to fight 10 other people, and then at the end, you face a member of the Elite. It's like Mortal Kombat. But again, I know I'm beating a dead horse. I ain't paying $6.99 for it. I ain't getting the DLC to play it. Which that's the other crappy thing. They gave us a copy of the game, but then didn't even give us Matt Hardy, because Matt Hardy was the pre-order bonus, and the version of the game that they gave us was not a, quote, pre-order version, which is weird. At least when 2K gives us the WWE games, we get Golden Deluxe Edition with everything. So, thank you, 2K. But thank you, THQ, too, for providing us with a code. But, big advance, or the big underscore give it all says, damn, let me see, what is it? I was, what that word is, considering probably on whether to spend $60 on it or not. Don't. I'd save your money and go buy something else. Go
No, like
buy another game.
no, like one of the people who were like invited down to that AEW event to like promote the game and whatnot.
Uh,
Like they literally said like, they said I thought the game was good, but it's not worth what you're paying for. It's
no,
not worth 2K money.
no, it's not worth $60 at all. It's fun initially, but it gets very bored and repetitive very quickly. Like I played matches with Danielson, Omega, Moxley, Jericho, and I felt like I was wrestling with the same person every single time. So,
Which I know like the game they were trying not to be like the WWE 2K games. They were trying to be like differently, but it just didn't really work out.
yes, but you shouldn't have a game where everybody feels the same. So then the question is like, okay, if everybody feels the same, what does it matter if I'm Cody Rhodes? What does it matter if I'm wrestling as Jericho? What does it matter if I'm wrestling as CM Punk? Why does it matter who I pick if everybody feels the same other than their signature move, their finisher? So, King D-Jack says, I just got done playing WWE 2K23. My kids still play it now. They'll jump in and they'll play a couple matches here and there. They'll be like, all right, because it's funny. So they'll say, oh, we're going to play WWE 2K, but we need you to flip a coin. I was like, for what? To figure out if we're going to do a boys match or a girls match first. My daughter's always like, let's be the girls. And my son's like, I want to be the boys. And so they come to me and they go, flip a coin, heads or tails. Who gets to pick first? That's how we, what's the word I'm looking for? That's how we fix a lot of arguments in this household. Right here. I'll show you right here. When I got Super Smash Bros. Ultimate on the Switch, it came with this coin. I don't know if you guys can see it. The Super Smash Bros. Got the Smash Bros. Logo on the back. This coin right here has helped solve a lot of arguments in my house. My son is heads, my daughter is tails. You do 2 best out of 3. And whoever wins, wins. And they don't argue anymore after that. Flip the coin and they agree that the coin says what the coin's going to say.
You know who I could think the pre-order bonus could be for 2K24 for WWE?
Huh.
CM Punk.
That'd be cool. Well, no. I wouldn't do him as a pre-order bonus. Because if he's the pre-order bonus, then that means that if you don't pre-order it and just buy it, then you don't get Punk. That's the issue. Which is the problem with the AEW game, because you only get Matt Hardy if you pre-order it, but Jeff Hardy's on the regular roster. So I can't even play as the goddamn Hardy Boys unless I go buy Matt now for $5. You can't even play as the Hardys with the base game because Matt was a pre-order bonus, but Jeff's on the roster, even though Jeff has been there way less time than Matt. Why is Matt the pre-order? I can go on for days about this game and it's just being meh.
Well, if Punk isn't going to be the pre-order bonus, like, would you have him be as like one of the deluxe editions? Maybe you have like him and AJ being like a deluxe bonus together.
I wouldn't do anything to where if you just bought I wouldn't do anything where if you bought just the base version of the game, you're not going to get Punk. That's my whole thing. Punk's got to be in the base version of the game on the roster with everybody else. But as far as like the bonus, I can see him being on the cover like the deluxe version like they did with Cena this year, and you get extra versions. Like what was the actual, hold on, let me see. WWE 2K23 Deluxe. And what did you get with it is what I want to know. What did you get?
Pretty sure the deluxe edition, you got like multiple versions of like John Cena. You got like Dr. Thugonomics. You got like Rookie Cena.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If it's something like that, then yeah, you could put Punk on the cover of the deluxe edition and get multiple versions of Punk. Or you do the deluxe edition with Bray Wyatt on the cover and get multiple versions of Bray. You get Louisiana Backwoods Bray. You get Husky Harris. You get regular Bray. You get Uncle Howdy Bray. Well, actually, Uncle Howdy is Bo, but you get The Fiend. That's what you could do. Here we go. Here's what comes in each edition of WWE 2K23. So the pre-order bonus was Bad Bunny. So maybe Bad Bunny again? No, they wouldn't do the same thing twice. No, they wouldn't do the same thing twice. Who would be the pre-order bonus? I'm trying to think. I don't know. But then in the deluxe edition, you got early access.
Logan Paul or something?
Well, no, because Logan Paul is going to be on the regular roster. He's going to probably start the game as U.S. champion, maybe. You get so in the digital deluxe edition, you got the game 3 days early, the ruthless aggression pack, which gave you throwback versions of John Cena, Randy Orton, Batista, and Brock Lesnar, along with the WrestleMania 22 arena. You got my season pass, which the season pass, which includes all the DLC. A My Rise Mega Booster, which gives you boosters for My Rise. And then you get stuff for, what is this? For Factions mode. Yeah. So maybe put Punk on the cover of the deluxe edition and then give us like multiple versions of Punk that way. Maybe the story thing, like we had the Cena showcase, maybe give us a Punk showcase.
I mean,
I think the showcase should be Bray Wyatt.
I was saying the showcase should either be Wyatt or Orton.
That'd be an interesting one, Randy Orton.
Because I think for the Bray Wyatt one, I was worried because, like, at least for Orton, you can at least like show a lot of guys that he's wrestled that's either been like retired or people that are currently still in WWE.
Well, even with Bray Wyatt, you can have a lot of good matches. Well, then actually, that's tough. Because with Bray, then you'd have to put Harper and Rowan in this game too to do some of his earlier matches, like the New Day stuff, the Shield stuff. That'd be a tough one. Getting Harper and Rowan in the game as well.
I was thinking if they were gonna do the Bray Wyatt one, I was thinking maybe just have Eric Rowan be like the narrator.
Well, I mean, not even that. It's the fact of like, is Amanda Huber gonna allow Luke Harper, Brody Lee to be in this game? That's the thing.
I don't see why not.
Well, she works for AEW.
But I'm not saying like put him in the game. But like,
if you want to do, here's my thing. If you want to do a showcase mode with early Bray Wyatt main roster stuff, some of the bigger matches there are 6-man tags, like against the Shield and the New Day. You need both Harper and Rowan to do those matches. Because it's like, what big Bray Wyatt matches are there that you can add? I mean, you got Seth in the Hell in a Cell, you got The Miz, you got Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton stuff. But that's all like later like Bray.
Him and Undertaker.
Yeah. But it's like, I still feel like
there's him versus Cena at Mania.
Yeah. I mean, there's matches you can do. But honestly, when I think of big Bray Wyatt matches, the first two that pop in my head, the 6-man with the Shield and the 6-man with the New Day. So, but we'll see.
What about the Inferno match with him and Kane?
Him and Kane? I don't even remember that one. I remember him and Orton in an Inferno match. Because Orton lit him on fire afterwards. Did an Inferno match with Kane?
Him versus... That was his like main roster debut match. Like that was his first match on the main roster.
I'm going to look this up. I do not remember this match. Oh, SummerSlam, Ring of Fire match. I honestly do not remember that match at all. A 9-minute match. SummerSlam 2013. Huh. Okay. Yeah, I don't remember that match at all.
I mean, it wasn't a great match, but it was Bray's first like singles match on main roster. I mean, that's something you could add.
Well, yeah, that would be there for sure. So, 2K24, I mean, I would assume we start getting info on it next month. Because with 2K23, we got our first info in January. Game came out end of March. So I would assume same timeline of stuff going into 24. We haven't heard anything yet, so we'll see. King D Jack says, SummerSlam 2013, it sucked. Yeah, I honestly don't remember. I probably watched it because I was watching everything, but yeah.
That was the one where like Daniel Bryan won WWE Championship, but Orton cashed in.
Oh yeah, I knew that. Like once I saw it said SummerSlam 2013, I knew exactly what show that was. I just don't have any recollection of that match whatsoever. Yeah, because that was in LA. Triple H was the referee. Orton cashes in after Danielson win. Yeah. Triple H hits him with the pedigree and all that. It builds up to a great WrestleMania 30 that was not even supposed to be what it ended up being. Again, you can thank CM Punk for WrestleMania 30 and the Yes Movement.
Because it was originally supposed to be Batista.
Correct. It was supposed to be Batista, and Triple H was supposed to fight Punk. Then Punk advocated, no, don't put me over. Put Daniel Bryan over. Fight him. Make him a big name. And then it ended up Bryan getting in the main event, winning the title, this and that, and then, yeah. But we got AEW to finish up here. Let's finish this. Switchblade Jay White against Mark Briscoe. Again, Mark Briscoe doesn't win anything in this tournament. He's eliminated already. Mark Briscoe charges with a running corner boot as White answers with a high stack for a 2. There's a loud "Dem Boys" chant for Briscoe, who hit a rolling Death Valley driver and a froggy bow as White wisely rolled to the floor. White actually wrapped himself up in the cable cord and gave himself at least a little breather while Briscoe tried to untangle him. Back inside the ring, Briscoe fired off some chops. Briscoe charged, but White hit him with an overhead throw. It resulted in Briscoe smacking his back on the edge of the apron. Briscoe then hit some redneck kung fu and helped avoid a Blade Runner, but White quickly followed with a short DDT to control the break. White then worked over the leg during the picture-in-picture, but Briscoe fired off a wild lariat into a double down spot. More kung fu by Briscoe, who followed this up with a flying forearm and a charging boot. Briscoe hit a running elbow off the apron to the floor. Back inside the ring, White escaped a splash mountain into a chop exchange. White fought out of the corner, but Briscoe was there with an uppercut chop to the neck and a splash mountain for a 2. Briscoe wanted to go for the J Driller, but White answered with multiple dragon screws and multiple sleeper suplexes. White then wanted a Blade Runner, but Briscoe spun out into an exploder, wanted a second froggy bow. White got the knees up, hit the Blade Runner, and pinned Briscoe to pick up the victory and go undefeated so far, 9 points. So there we go. No, yeah, he's undefeated, right? No, he shouldn't be undefeated because he's only got 9 points. He lost to Swerve. So there we go. Switchblade now sits at 9 points. Any thoughts on the match?
I mean, match was kind of there. I mean, it was pretty obvious that Jay was getting the win, though.
Oh, John Elite 45 has another good question on the whole doing the Shield and what's it called? Shield and Wyatt family match in 2K. They'd have to get Ambrose in there too. That's another one. Yeah, nope. That ain't happening.
Hawks already said FWWE.
Yep.
Like, that ain't happening.
Then we get a video package hyping up Bryan Danielson and the BCC challenging FTR and Mark Briscoe to a 6-man tag at Final Battle. I thought they did, I said it earlier, a good job reminding us over and over, hey, Final Battle this Friday, Final Battle this Friday, Final Battle this Friday. But then other than crowning a new TV champion and the main event with Billy Starks and Athena, none of it, nothing else on that show doesn't feels like it's important. Everything else just feels random, and it's just like, oh, hey, we got a pay-per-view coming up. What can we throw on here? I Quit match with Keith Lee and Shane Strickland? What? Like, just let me run down this card really
Shane
fast.
Taylor?
What'd you say?
Shane Taylor?
Shane Taylor, that's right.
You said
Yeah,
Shane.
I know. Swerve's old name.
Yeah.
Let's see. Final Battle 2023. The card is as followed. Dalton Castle, Commander Kyle Fletcher, Lee Johnson, Lee Moriarty, and one other name fighting in a survival of the fittest finals for the vacant ROH Television Championship, which don't even get me started on frickin' Tony Khan's response to why Joe had to vacate that belt, because he made himself sound so goddamn stupid the way he said why Joe had to vacate that title. Don't even get me started. Singles match.
What did he say?
Basically, because he was asked about this in the media call yesterday, and basically his response was, well, we want Joe to be focused more on AEW, so he can't be defending the Ring of Honor title and being a focus on AEW. The AEW World Champion is one half of the Ring of Honor Tag Champions and not even defending the title because he's hurt and his tag partner's hurt. How does that make any sense? He can't be a focus on AEW television because he's got a Ring of Honor title and he wants to go for an AEW title, but your AEW World Champion has a Ring of Honor title. How does that make any sense? It hurts my brain just thinking about it.
I still don't know why MJF and Adam Cole have those tag titles. Adam Cole's going to be out for a while.
He did state yesterday when asked about it, we have discussed potentially vacating the tag team titles. But have they? Will they? Doubt it.
But it's like a no-brainer in wrestling. If you can't defend your belt because you're hurt, then vacate the belt.
Well, that's
Every
a WWE thing.
does it.
WWE's
not just WWE though. It's impacted it as well with Josh Alexander.
True. You're not wrong. Because WWE's unwritten rule, and we've seen this play out on TV before, it can't defend your title in a 30-day period, then you're going to be stripped of the belt. But we've seen that play fast and loose. I don't know. Anyways, it hurts my brain thinking about him trying to justify it. And it made himself look so stupid when your tag team titles are on the world champion who barely works because he's hurt right now. And then your other half is out injured. But when he said we've contemplated the idea of stripping the belts, then that goes, oh, crap. Does that mean Cole was worse off than we thought? Anyways, the I Quit match is not Shane Taylor and Keith Lee are in a singles match. The I Quit match is Ethan Page and Tony Nese. Where the fuck did that match come from? Then there's the Jay Briscoe Memorial Fight Without Honor. FTR and Mark Briscoe against Claudio Castagnoli, Jon Moxley, and Bryan Danielson. And our main event, which should be good. It's like the only thing that they've actually built up with any kind of real story. Billy Starks challenging Athena for the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship. I'll watch that main event. I'll watch that 6-man tag because they're just going to beat the crap out of each other and everyone's going to bleed. Other than that, the other 3 matches, I couldn't care less about. I just don't.
I mean, the other matches basically seemed there.
Yeah. Like, there's one match that's important because it's crowning the new World Television Champion, but I don't care about any of the people in the match. Dalton Castle, cool, former Ring of Honor World Champion. Commander, Kyle Fletcher, Lee Johnson, what? Lee Moriarty, yeah, they don't care about it. So, I don't think they've done a good job with Ring of Honor. I just don't think they've done a good job trying to make Ring of Honor its own thing. I don't think they've done well with it. So,
you think it was a bad purchase by Tony Khan then?
No, because he's got the video library, and that video library can make him a lot of money. If he goes to Time Warner or Warner Brothers Discovery and it's like, look, we've got this video library, Ring of Honor, 20 years of content, put it on your service and pay us. Or if they say no, he goes to somebody else and says, let's put this content. Like, WWE didn't buy WCW just to say they did. They bought it because the tape library, which has made them a lot of money. Because they got WCW for a steal. Paid like $2 million for everything. And that video library has paid off tenfold. They've probably made that $2 million back just in DVD sales in the first couple of years. But yeah, other than the main event, I couldn't really care about this Ring of Honor pay-per-view. I'll just watch SmackDown and catch the main event later. Let me go to the main event of tonight's Dynamite. It was Jon Moxley against Swerve Strickland. It was a Gold League match, and I thought this match was really good. I thought this match was really, really good. So, match starts off, and we're already getting AEW chants. We're already getting holy shit chants as these two are just going back and forth. These two were fighting it out. Moxley was in the corner where he kissed Strickland right on the nose. Strickland won the next little scrap and returned the favor before working on a headlock. There's a series of reversals that led to Strickland's head scissors that sent Moxley to the floor. Frustration grew in Moxley. There's a stiff forearm and a chop battle that ensued until Moxley went to the second rope. He had his legs kicked out, and Strickland hit a nasty leaping DDT as a result for a 2. Also, I want to mention, Swerve's got some new graphics on his entrance that are not babyface graphics. I will say right now, they are what we call in the graphic design world as comic book style graphics. Comic book style graphics are supposed to invoke happiness, fun times, joyfulness. Swerve's character is not about happiness, fun, and joyfulness. So, not a big fan of his new graphics because they just don't fit the character. Still got the same song, so that's cool. Anyways, Moxley tried to regroup on the outside, but this time Strickland was out after him to continue the assault. We then noticed, or at least I noticed, that the front of the announce desk for some reason had the Battle of the Belts graphics on there without it saying Battle of the Belts, but those were the Battle of the Belts graphics, so that's weird. Things that I noticed that probably others didn't. Back inside the ring, Moxley exploded out of the corner with a lariat and poured down some punches before biting at the arm and hitting a stalling pile driver for a 2. Moxley went to the floor and crotched Strickland between the ring skirt. He then drove him into the ring steps. During a commercial break, which I did see the picture-in-picture here, Moxley remained in control by hitting a superplex and keeping Strickland grounded. Moxley absolutely crushed Strickland with a lariat, but Strickland fought back, and there was a double down into a backbreaker. This gave both guys time to recover. There was a diving uppercut off the second, led to a rolling flatliner attempt, which Moxley was ready for, and he leaped into a cutter for a 2. Moxley connected with a Gotch-style pile driver, but Strickland kicked out. Both men traded headbutts and big boots until Strickland got his rolling flatliner into a suplex. Moxley then surged to his feet as Strickland was there with a charging boot for a 2. Strickland stomped down with some boots and an anvil elbow, catching Moxley in the chop, and he went for the house call. Strickland wanted the swerve stomp, but Moxley exploded to his feet and dumped Strickland to the floor. The referee started counting. Moxley's like, count him out, count him out, count him out. He gets to 9, and Swerve jumps back into the ring. As he jumps back into the ring, though, Mox immediately hits him with a curb stomp and gets a 2. Justin Roberts then gives us the 5-minute call at the top of the hour. Moxley applied a cross arm bar, and Strickland gets the rope break. Moxley then goes to grab a chair. Referee tells him, don't use it, and Strickland has a flying crossbody dive over the top to the floor. There's a pump kick on the apron, setting up Moxley on the chair and connecting with a swerve stomp. Back inside the ring, Strickland hit a proper swerve stomp, but Moxley kicked out. Swerve went for the JML driver, but Moxley rolled him up with a handful of trunks, and also Strickland's shoulders were up. But Paul Turner still pinned him, still counted the 3. So there's the big controversy. A, Mox cheated by grabbing the tights, which fine, cool, whatever. But I don't know if we're supposed to have seen this or not. If this was, I don't know if, do you think it was a mess up that Swerve's shoulders were not actually fully down? Or do you think that's the story that's going to come out of this match?
I feel like it's one of those things where it wasn't originally planned, but something that they could use as a story, like, for next week.
Because I don't know if Mox was referencing to the shoulders, but he was referencing to pulling the tights. Because after the match, he looks right in the camera and goes, do whatever it takes. So I don't know if Swerve's shoulder not being down was a mess up or if it was intentional. But I know pulling the tights is Mox going, cheat or not, it's a win. You got to win. Do whatever it takes to win. Also, Swerve very pissed off in the ring as Mox celebrates with the crowd. What do you think of the match overall?
I mean, the match was good. I kind of thought Swerve was going to win because I feel like Swerve, it would have benefited Swerve more. And
Yes.
like Mox is just like one of those guys where if you beat him, it's not really going to affect him that much.
Yes and no. It really depends on who's making the finals, though. Do you want Moxley to be that undefeated monster going into the finals? That's the story I think they're telling. Moxley has been on such a roll. I think what's going to happen, Moxley goes undefeated into the finals, and then Moxley loses in the finals going to World's End. And so it's an even bigger deal that whoever beats Moxley to face the Blue League winner really elevated themselves because they beat the undefeated Jon Moxley. That's why I think Moxley needs to go undefeated all the way through until we get to December 27th in that Gold League finals. I think that would really elevate, whether that's Roosh, Swerve, or Jay White, beating him. Because I think, honestly, I think this is leading to a Swerve and Moxley rematch in the Gold League finals with Swerve getting the win. And then Swerve can be like, look, I beat the guy that had to pull the tights and cheat a little bit to beat me the first time. Now I beat him here in the rematch and then the finals to go to the finals. But I think that's the story they're telling here. I think it's going to be, now that I think about it, I think it's going to be Swerve and Mox one more time in the finals of the Gold League. So then, the show ain't over yet. We had a 5-minute overrun. This match ended at like 7:01 Pacific, and we cut backstage to Adam Hangman Page fighting the Devil's Henchman. It's 4-on-1, and he's getting his butt beat. There's a car pointed, cut at an angle. All four men grab Hangman, and they go, "Oh my God, are they going to drive the car into Hangman or something?" No, they don't. The Devil gets out of the car, looks straight at the camera, looks at the guys, whatever you want to say, and just nods his head. They then pick up Hangman, and 2 or 3 of them powerbomb Hangman onto the windshield of the car, and that's how the show goes off the air. Page gets attacked by the Devil and his henchmen. The Devil is actually there, not just on the screen. So is this only, I think this is only the second time now we've actually seen the Devil there and not on screen. We saw him the first time we saw this when they attacked Jay White, and now we've seen the Devil there in person himself this time. So it ain't Hangman, the Devil. Because like before, when people would get attacked, you can go, "Oh, maybe it's, so-and-so attacking them." I don't know. But it's not Hangman because the Devil was there.
I know some people keep saying it might be Adam Cole. I also saw some people on Twitter saying it could be Kyle O'Reilly.
That maybe, but I don't know if that would make sense. Now, I still think it's going to be Adam Cole as the Devil. And, well, now here's the thing. It could be Adam's the Devil, and the henchmen are Roddy, Taven, Bennett, and O'Reilly. You're building the new kingdom / Undisputed Era. Whatever you're going to call them going forward.
Undisputed Kingdom?
There you go. I like that name, actually. That's actually not a bad name. Because they're not going to be the Undisputed Elite. They're not going to do that name again. But I don't hate the Undisputed Kingdom. I actually like that. So,
I mean, it sounds lazy, but if you really think about it, it's just like,
no, it makes a lot of sense.
It's just like them combining like the Kingdom and Undisputed Era without like trying to call them Undisputed Era.
Yeah, no, that's a great name. I think that's actually, if you're going to merge the Kingdom and the Undisputed Era, that's the perfect name to do. You just that's their as the kids say these days, that's their ship name. We're shipping them.
But like the question is, how long do you like keep the Maskman like face covered? Do you keep it
until Adam Cole
comes back?
Until Adam Cole no longer needs crutches. I don't think we need him to reveal himself as the Devil. Like, if he's still hurt and can't work a match, you can still reveal him as the Devil. That'll be fine. But I don't think revealing him as the Devil on crutches is going to be a good idea. But once he doesn't need crutches anymore, then you can reveal him as the Devil. He can be there directing his guys, and then eventually when he can come back and have a match, then he wrestles. But I think until he's off the crutches, and if it is Adam Cole, we can be completely wrong and it's not Adam Cole, but I say as long as he's got to be on crutches, don't unveil him as the Devil, which means that whoever was there tonight probably is not the Devil. So according to Fightful, they had a report saying the 4 henchmen are the henchmen. The people under the black masks are the guys. They're portraying that already. But the Devil may not be the Devil. So, I don't know. Also, if we're going with that knowledge of the henchmen or the henchmen, one of the guys looked pretty big, a lot bigger than any of the Kingdom or Undisputed Era guys. That's why some people think it's Wardlow, because there's one guy that looks like he's got a big back and shoulders.
I mean, if that was the case, then it probably can't be O'Reilly.
Probably not. I don't know. Well, Kyle O'Reilly's been there backstage recently. I just don't know to what extent and what he is or isn't allowed to do yet medical-wise, like clearance.
Well, I remember I don't know if he tweeted it, but he tweeted like something about like AEW going on tour in Canada saying hopefully he'll be cleared by then.
Right. That's March.
Yeah. So he's definitely not cleared yet.
Yeah, overall, it was an okay show. I wouldn't call it great. I wouldn't call it horrible, but there was good matches.
I mean,
Go for it.
It was basically just one of those shows. If you want to watch like some good matches, there you go.
Yes, the in-ring action, for the most part, was all really good. Everything else on the show was just meh. As far as some upcoming shows, Rampage has one match announced. The AEW International Champion Orange Cassidy will be teaming with Ross and Marshall Von Erich in a 6-man tag. Also, is the I want to know who they're facing. Here we go. Spoilers. Spoiler alert for Rampage. They are facing. The hell is it? Oh. Can you guess who they're facing?
Who?
2.0 and Jake Hager.
Oh, I should have known that because I think one of them had Jake Hager's hat.
Danhausen.
Yeah.
Marshall pinned Angelo Parker. And at one point, Danhausen tried to make a save, but ultimately Kevin Von Erich put the iron claw on Jake Hager. Also, non-spoiler, we'll just tell you the other matches that took place. The Don Callis family, Powerhouse Hobbs and Kyle Fletcher, took on Hunter Gray and Paul Titan. Anna Jay took on Red Velvet. And Top Flight and Action Andretti took on Penta El Zero Miedo, Commander, and El Hijo del Vikingo. Wait. Vikingo going to be two places at one on Friday, technically. He's going to be working a Rampage match and working the Ring of Honor pay-per-view at the same time. Or the same night. He's going to be appearing on two wrestling shows on the same night on Friday. That's funny. They better not. So they better not be telling us Rampage live here in Arlington, Texas, because we know he's not live. Because unless they, it would be funny if commentary makes a joke because their Rampage tonight is technically in the same area as the Final Battle pay-per-view, so they can be like, "Oh, Vikingo just finished up a match with Commander." Or no. Who's he facing on the... Wait, hold on. Final... Who's he facing again? I know it's for AAA title or something like that. Final Battle, it is Vikingo against... Hold on. Wikipedia doesn't even have that match listed. Oh, hold on. Give me 2 seconds to find it. Here it is. Oh, Black Taurus. Okay. It's Vikingo and Black Taurus. I mean, it'd be funny on like the Rampage broadcast or because I assume this would be an early show match, like earlier in the show. So it'd be funny on like the Rampage broadcast if they make a joke going, Vikingo wrestled Black Taurus earlier. Now he's in this match here tonight. He's at 2 matches tonight or something. It'd be funny. But yeah, as far as anything else announced for this week, does anything? Let me see. Can't remember if anything got announced for Collision. Yeah. So Andrade El Idolo will take on Claudio Castagnoli in a Blue League match. Eddie Kingston versus Daniel Garcia in a Blue League match. And Danielson versus Brody King in a Blue League match. Next week on Rampage, Jon Moxley versus Switchblade Jay White, Roosh versus Swerve, and Mark Briscoe and Jay Lethal. That's everything announced for the next week of AEW programming. With that is everything that we thought pertaining to tonight's AEW Dynamite. Now we go to the polls to see what you guys thought. So let's refresh all of this. Refresh. As far as the X poll does go, 40% liked the show, 32% thought it was just all right, and 27% didn't like it. Not good numbers there for this show. I would say not good favorable numbers. As far as the YouTube community poll, 58% liked the show, 22% thought it was just all right, and 21% didn't like it. Person says, I liked it. Very solid episode. Person says, I liked it. This person says it was really good, but disappointed Shayna Wayne didn't explain why she cost Adam the match. Yeah, I said that earlier. Why was there no follow-up to the end of the Christian Copeland match? I got another person. Why no follow-up to Christian Cage and Nick Wayne's mom? Tony Khan has some ADHD. Person says it was meh, and this person says, yeah, I don't read those ones. I don't read the I didn't watch ... comments. And finally, the live poll. More people watching here like the show. 64% like the show, 14% no. 64% like the show, 22% didn't like the show, and 14% thought it was just all right. With that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining us here at twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, youtube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Luke, tell them where they can find you.
Find me over at Twitter X at Petke_21. And you can also find me over at Twitch at the Luke Petke.
With that, guys, have a great night. See you back Friday. The wrestling wrap up and the SmackDown review. With that, guys, have a good one, and we'll see you next time.